Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the G1 League Qualifier, phase number 2. This is Invasion Gaming on the rating side versus Rattlesnake, where Rattlesnake on the brink of bringing MUFC out of the entire tournament. This is a presentation I've done by Beyond the Summit, and of course, this is Luminous, joined by Gods. Gods, how are you doing today, and how do you feel about Winter almost being knocked out right now?
Well, I'm feeling okay with it. I do love my Chinese Dota, as many people are aware. I do have some slight bias at times towards the Chinese teams, regardless of who they are, as well as towards Winter. Slight bias. I wouldn't call it bias. I would say respect.
Okay, fair enough. I like the uses of those terms. Yeah.
But we are going to see whether or not MUFC can bounce back. I'd love to see the series go to a game 3 regardless. But this new Rattlesnake team, they're really solid, and this is, to me, some of their players are playing better than ever. Kambu, back when he was playing with Tong Fu, was not the most solid player in that off lane, but he played a fantastic solo mid Clockwork last time round. We have Lan M switching over to that support role from the carry role. He's also the captain and drafter for the team at the moment, Rattlesnake, and it's going really well. They're going to go once again for the Clockwork. We'll have to see if it's going to be another solo mid Clockwork, but it worked out last time really well for them. So MUFC with a mag, that's the one big difference here. A hero that was banned out last time, this time slips through the pool.
Yeah, in terms of the matchup between Magnus and Clockwork, if the two do butt head against each other in the mid lane, Cogs is again the kind of the deciding factor. Shockwave will be used, will be spammed, but 80 mana drain right at level 1. Well, that's one less Shockwave that you're going to be using, again, if the two heroes do match up. Clock, not often seen in the mid lane, but definitely a powerful force like we saw in game number 1. If you get that quick Meg, quick Acceptor, he is just an insane hero to deal with in Team 5. But it seems like Invasion MUFC has kind of assembled, I want to say, the Megatron, if you will. Magnus plus Lifestealer, you get the initiation, you get the team fight, you get the late game because of Empower Rage. You get a lot of stuff just from simply of those two picks, and they got rounded out with the Rubik as well. I like that starting for MUFC. It looks like a powerful lineup so far.
Yeah, they got themselves a good trial in here. And, anti-mage, okay. And now the question is for MUFC. They will probably not really set on, they're probably more leaning towards a safe lane trial, but as soon as they see the anti-mage, they think, do we actually want to go aggressive against it? With Rubik, Lifestealer, and something like Alina, you definitely potentially can, but it's always going to be so hard and risky. The Chinese teams are probably the best in the world at dealing with offensive tri lanes. They just sit back, soak up the pressure, use pulls, they just avoid any clashes, and suddenly you have an offensive tri lane who's like, well, we maybe slowed down the anti-mage's farm, but we didn't kill any support heroes. We didn't really get much XP on our heroes. We're getting out-leveled, and it's like, oh crap, we've suddenly lost this lane.
Yeah, on the same token, though, Anti-Mage is a hero that doesn't do much till later on, right? Lifestealer could phase Drum, and especially when the power on top, do a ton of damage, and Anti-Mage is not going to have a suitable response till, I want to say, 25 minutes in the game once he has a Battle Fury, and once he has enough time to farm the first Yasha. Anti-Mage is going to survive, but surviving is not really protecting your tower. It doesn't equate that way. So MUFC could still take advantage of this opening. Like we saw many times in the past, MUFC is the lineup that likes to take this game early. They want to explode right out of the gate, start knocking down some first bloods, start getting some early towers, and this is a lineup that could do it quite easily. And to be honest, they won't be punished if they make a couple mistakes. Rage is a lot of times a get out of jail free card. Same thing with Skewer, and I think MUFC is, in my opinion, having the better end of the draft so far.
Yeah, I like what they've got. There's definitely openings for Rattlesnake as far as playing around the anti-mage here, but the ball is in MUFC's court as far as what they want to do with this. We do see some strong solo bans on the Queen of Pain as well as Tinker, so generally solo mids and another solo mid banned out, so they are expecting somewhat of a side lane Magnus here. Possibly you can present them safe lane with an offensive trial, or maybe just straight up suicide lane mag.
Yeah, I mean, MUFC is one of those teams that's not afraid to run a Magnus, despite the fact that Skewer is so weak. I think MUFC, even if they run it as a solo Magnus off lane, they try to get the matchup in a 1v1, so you don't really give away too many kills. A little bit of pick as well as a ban as MUFC picks up the Lina. You do not want to give away Shadow Demon and Lina. It's too high of a DPS combo, but instead they will give up Shadow Demon and Leshrac, which not exactly a good thing to give up either, but you can ban them all.
Yeah, you can't ban them all, and well, with Shadow Demon and Leshrac over on the Rattlesnake side, if they are up against an offensive trial, they do have some firepower of their own. Sure, Anti-Mage doesn't really offer a whole lot. They're nothing like comparable to a Lifestealer, but the potential is there for some aggression. It'll be interesting to see what MUFC get with this last pick. It'll be a lot more telling as to whether or not they're going offensive trialing or not once we see that last hero come out. But for now, it is going to be only a couple seconds left. They actually, something worthy of note, which some people in the chat noticed, MUFC did get docked some of their extra reserve time. They had minus 50 seconds of extra time because of that long pause at the start of the last game.
And let's hope they don't random a Zeus a la like Navi style. But it's going to be a Mirana's, which I mean, we saw Mushi's kind of Mirana tri-lane kind of carry build. Mirana's been making a lot of plays in the Southern East Asian scene for the last couple of days. I love it. She's one of those, I want to say, forgotten heroes. She got eked out of the competitive scene once Windrunner came in, if we still remember the days of that, and now she's completely forgotten, but a little bit of resurgence. We've seen her as kind of an early game nuker. We've seen the power of the Moonlight Shadow being picked up right at level 6, and late game carry. She's been winning the late game carry war, even against heroes like Morphling, right?
Yeah, it's been a really strong hero, and I feel like it's a hero who needs a tri-lane though. So I think we see a solo lifestealer, maybe at the mid. If you want to match up against,
whoa,
Doom is back, Lumi.
Doom is back.
Wow, this is really interesting. Luo's going to be handling him, possibly most likely a solo mid Doom this time round, unless they're expecting a 1v1 matchup somewhere. But the Doom pick, really interesting. This is a great hero if you can find the mag with Doom. Suddenly that hero cannot do anything in a team fight, and the team fight is yours, but we'll have to see how MUFC look to play this. I think they go offensive trial with Rubik, Lina, and Mirana, and their goal is to prevent Anti-Mage from farming. They then decide either FC or Hontrash play will be at mid lane, the other probably soloing in the safe lane.
All right, so here's a couple of things I want to point out. Doom, like you said, great against Magnus. Not so good against Lifestealer, as he doesn't really care. It does provide a silence, which will prevent the rage, but he could still obviously lifesteal with the Feast. It does not shut down Feast. It does shut down a lot of other passive, does not shut down Feast. Other thing you have to be very, very worried about is that Doom does have a big cast animation, and when you cast Doom, if Winter's quick enough, and I know he is, you could get your Doom stolen, which is a big, big deal.
Yeah, very, very good point there, and we'll have to see how Doom looks to play around that. You can instantly cast Scorched Earth.
Right, but the thing is, he generally casts Scorched Earth to run into Doom.
Yeah.
Which is the more logical thing to kind of think about, so I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see what build we look for on Doom as well. That's the other thing. You can look for the tanky, more utility style build, or you can go for that Shadow Blade initiation. Even a Blink Dagger is not bad if you have the mana to support it. But right now, we'll introduce the Invasion MUFC Armageddon team, the team with the longest sponsor list out there. It's FCFC playing the Magnus. We've got Rubik being played by Winter, Mirana in the hands of TFG, Hontrash player on the Lifestealer, and then finally Lina being played by Wang Wang. And it looks like it's a solo mid-mag based on the 3-branch build.
Yep, also Lina, key thing to point out is that they do have their first Smoke of Deceit being picked up here. Mia on the dire side, Rattlesnake, one win away from moving on to the G1 League qualifier phase number 3, where they're going to be playing against a lot of the really, really powerful Chinese as well as Orange teams. We're going to have Neo, or formerly Nirvana Chai Neo, going to be handling the Shrek. We have Icy playing on the Anti-Mage, Lamb, Captain, Support, going to be playing on the Shadow Demon. Move on the bot lane here, Kabu. Solo mid last time, probably going to be on the off lane here, going to be handling the clock. Last but not least, we're going to see Luo playing a good old solo mid Doom. I mean, that mid lane, you don't really expect to kind of win or lose it. So when you have a passive farmer like Doom who's going to eke out that advantage in terms of go and experience because of Devour, hey, why the hell not?
Yeah, and MUFC, it's the offensive trial with Mirana. This is good, I mean, for 2 reasons for me. One, Mirana is not a good solo hero. Your damage is just... I think Mirana would lose to a solo Clockwork. There's a bit of a clash going out at the top lane. It looks like it's just going to be poking around here. Mirana's also a little bit better up against the Anti-Mage trial, and being a ranged hero, you can sit back and harass a lot more. So I feel their trial lane's better, and I also feel their solo's a lot stronger. I think Lifestealer matches up a lot better against Clockwork than the Mirana does at bottom lane.
Yep. I completely agree with you. A single Stout Shield and Clockwork, Mirana loses that to the Clockwork quite easily, I have to add. Although, I mean, I do believe Clockwork does fine here against Lifestealer. Lifestealer might be able to go in and feast harass, but that Cog is going to be pretty insane. And he's Invis is about to get some mana drain.
It's good. I imagine you just spam it, right off the bat. He'll be using this every single cooldown. It's a 15-second cooldown. It costs absolutely no mana whatsoever. It's so very spammable, and it's going to be something really annoying for him. But most of the action is probably going to be happening top lane. Bottom lane is just where we see the annoying harass. Top lane, trial lane versus trial lane, both teams battling out for wards. It's really the most interesting thing in the first game is where the D-wards and warding happens. MUFC haven't blocked the creep ball here, and they have managed to D-ward this jungle observer ward that Rattlesnake did plant down.
Not only did the jungle, they also dewarded the river ward up top, or river sentry was placed. So right now the war is being won here by Invasion MUFC, and when you run offensive trialing like these, that is a very, very important thing. Deny the pulls, deny their wards, and basically have the vision going your way, have the EXP going your way, prevent the pulls, and let's see if they're going to be able to pick up that first blood, lift into LSA, into Arrow. That's a ton of damage output. You want to actually go on Lamb, though, because he's got the defensive disruption ready to go.
Yeah, if it's not Lamb you go on, he's going to be, yeah, like you say, defensive disruption. If it is Leshrac caught completely out of position, there's a good chance the defensive disruption won't be able to keep him alive. But someone like Anti-Mage, you're not killing off unless he's alone. Lights are correct. Arrow is not going to do enough damage here. There should be a blink out soon. And he's actually going to fight. Look how much damage this Mirana's taking at top lane.
Oh, he's actually blinking forward, going for the kill. Oh my goodness.
He could still get leap if he wants. He's going to go to Arrow now. He's going to go on Icy. He's going to turn this around. Can he find the line for this? TFG's looking. Couple more racks coming in. Icy, he's got cooldown on Bleed. There's your lift. Arrow to fall off. Icy goes down. First blood for MUFC. This is the early game start, which they're just so good at having. And when they get this, things tend to go well for them. There's a revenge kill, though. 1-for-1 trade. Lina and Leshrac trade lives, but the first blood was there on the Anti-Mage.
I have no idea why Rattlesnake played as aggressive as they did, man. I mean, that blink at level 1, he blinked in to chase. I'm not sure. He had no backup either. TFG is going to get chased out, but he's south. Got boots of speed. He's going to be fine. Also, even though Lina traded for Leshrac's life, I mean, the EXP went to Lina before dying, so I'm sure she'll be happy about that as well. This is really aggressive. An overly aggressive play. Lina, oh, nice defensively disruption. But that's going to set up the LSA. A little bit physical harass. Only thing they have coming out ahead of this is that TFG slightly out of regen at this point, but she's going to be passing some Tango Salve. Yeah, she's going to be absolutely fine. I really think that Rattlesnake playing that lane, in my opinion, wrong.
Oh, Antimate, it's the second time he just blinked in so aggressively. I'm not sure why. I think the way to play this, that if you look at how LGD China would play this IG, they would just use pulls all day long. They don't look to fight you at any point in this Trialing versus Trialing. All they look to do is stack the pull, use the pull over and over again, maybe pull the small camp over on the right. They never look to fight. They look to starve you out, which is deny XP, pull the creep wave back, so Antimate is farming under his tower. Sure, you're going to miss last hits under your tower, but it's the safest place to be farming.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether they're getting a little bit frustrated by getting their pulls challenged but getting their rewards denied. Maybe that's trying to elicit them to go offensive, and they do have some decent offensive heroes. Shadow Demon Disrupt into, you know, Leshrac Stun and then into Lightning. That's pretty decent damage output, but you don't want to challenge this Trialing, especially when Anti-Mage doesn't even have Mana Break. That's the other kind of strange thing. They were fighting without Anti-Mage's big DPS spell, if you will. Oh no, he's going to try to go on, but the arrow's going to hit, and Neo taking a ton of damage. Neo's going to attach his Starfall. Here comes Icy blinking in. He does have Poor Man Shield blocking a ton of damage. He Magic Wand up, but he's not going to get a kill on Winter because of the good South. He's now on the run. Blink's going to be cooling down in just a bit. He blinks away. He should be fine, but again, missed opportunities. Trialing being lost big time here coming out from Rattlesnake.
And this is where I'd love to see that Mushi, Arcane Boots, Mirana. There's so much clashes going down. They're also being burned their mana constantly. You need those Arcane Boots, and Mirana right now is going to be the hero with the gold to actually get that up nice and fast. And if MUFC can get those Arcane Boots up, this top lane is mostly won. And I think a lot of it's coming down to that Observer behind the pull, but it's going to be another engagement. This time it could go the way of Rattlesnake. They've chain stunned perfectly onto Winter. Disruption setup. Antimate gets the kill with the help of Shadow Demon. Landon may go down return. No, it's going to be 2 kills to Rattlesnake. MUFC, they had such a good start, but all of a sudden things go a bit south for them at this top lane.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're thinking they should be going offensive. I mean, again, the damage output is very impressive. Don't underestimate Anti-Mage's early game damage output, even with a single point in Mana Break. It does 28 extra. Well, it doesn't do 28 extra damage, just like 16, 17-ish. It's decent. It's very decent damage, especially thanks to his high attack speed as well as mobility, thanks to Blink. So they pick off 2 free kills there. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, looks like Kabu barely survives against the Lifestealer, so he should be okay. Also, on the mid lane, Lu was forced back to the base after, I think, jungling up as well, as you can see that he does actually pick up the Ensnare creep, Darkshore Warlord.
Yeah, we haven't had much of a chance to check out these 2 side lanes here, but Clockwork getting very low from some Lifestealer aggression. And this is the 1v1 matchup where Lifestealer, he's gone for extra points in Feast early on, so give him that extra Lifestealer, and he's out-farming this Clockwork pretty convincingly. Clockwork just sitting on 9 creep kills, which, considering you can first farm with Rocket, is really poor.
Oh, they want to go on Lamb. Even Smoke at the Seat being used. Trying to give Winter the movement speed he needs. Looks like going to turn around right now. Need being used for the extra MS, and is that going to be it? Lightning going to be dropped as well. Icy, he's just going right for Winter. He knows he's going to have the movement speed advantage. LSA is going to hit, but Icy's so damn tanky. Arrow's going to hit right back here against Neo. Neo's going to eat a Dragon Slave on top as well. He's going to go down, but here comes Doom. Is going to drop his ultimate. There's a Doom being used, and Wang Wang's definitely dead. The question is, can they get that clutch tonight? Oh, but here comes the Magnus as well. RP being used just on Icy. Defensive disruption. Wang Wang's still on the run. Doom's going to run out. He's going to survive that, and now the turnaround's going to come in. A lot of mana. He should be fine as well.
That disruption dodged the shockwave as a result and kept Anti-Mage alive. I don't think that spell shield would have been enough. It's a level 4 shockwave. That would have been a dead Anti-Mage.
Yeah, I mean, both teams sending the solo mids to set up these ganks, and nothing really being done.
Well, a lot of ultimates being blown, but just like you say, to save your teammate, the Mag RP trying to kill off the Anti-Mage, but disruption gets used, and over on the MUFC side, the TPM from the Mag helped keep the Lina alive despite being doomed. And when you rotate as a Doom, you're expecting to get a kill, especially on a support hero when you pop your ultimate, but it wasn't the case. So I think MUFC, when the end of that clash at top lane, they're going to be pretty happy with how things went. The Doom wasted a lot of time. Sure, Mag comes, they don't get the kill on the Anti-Mage, which is a bit unfortunate, but I think all in all, it's MUFC who are leading as far as overall farm goes right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the go chart right now, it's a 2,000, I mean, without any tower being taken down. Now, obviously, they did get the first blood, so there's some of that. Meanwhile, though, Doom taking a ton of damage on the mid lane. I'm not sure if a skewer, the skewer was used as well. And
the skewer didn't land, unfortunately. He was looking for a kill. If the skewer landed, he would have actually gotten it.
Back in the river, though, look at the, of course, disruption into a stun, into illusions, trapping you up, but somehow Shadow Demon died, thanks to Nuki coming in from high ground and low ground. Meow Neo in big trouble as well. Splurf's gonna hit on FCFC, but Skewer coming off cooldown in a couple seconds. He doesn't even need it because Shockwave is gonna get that kill. FCFC, wherever he goes, being ultra effective, whether saving teammates or getting kills for his team.
Yeah, he's now found himself his first kill, but he's had some big important moments in this game. He's also done really well against his Doom at mid lane. You mentioned early on he got forced back. He almost got Doom forced back a second time here. So Doom has really been zoned out. He's been, the one time he rotated, Mag was there to prevent him getting any kills, and now we see Doom pick up some phase boots, which is a nice mobility item to help him start ganking around the map, but I feel for now, MUFC with Hon Trash Player getting that free farm at bottom lane, he's actually, up as far as CS goes on the carries, he's leading. Mag with even more, seeing on 47 creep kills, but this is looking really good. The top 3 farmers all on the MUFC side.
And I think Rattlesnake understands that as well. They want to set up a gank here on the bot lane. Rocket's going to detect the Lifestealer, but what are you going to do when he does rage, but the Cog's going to shut him in place? Doom's going to be on top. Again, he could feast, and he will keep on right-clicking just to regen a little bit of HP. Is he going to try to fight his way out of 4? He's really no way, but that's a very, very expensive gank. True support leaving the top lane, and of course, Anti-Mage can't really farm because of that. He's going to go for pulls. Meanwhile, mid lane, correct response coming out from MUFC. Pushes and forces out the glyph, so very well played. They did lose a Lifestealer, but nothing you could do against that, and try to punish them where the heroes are not available for Rattlesnake.
And FC getting very close to his Blink Dagger now. He's up to 1,500 gold, and like you say, Anthony's not getting much farm at top lane. He actually gets brought down by just Lina and Mirana. Laguna Blade being used for that one. I think Anthony is just sort of underestimating the nuking power of this Lina.
Yeah, I mean, well, that Anti-Mage apparently has balls of steel because he was fighting, he was taking man fights at level 2, so he's not afraid of nothing, but apparently did pay for it with his life up on the top lane. The big thing for me is that the supports are getting extremely farmed. Like you talked about, MUFC is leading. Wang Wang's got his Arcane Boots, and that's a huge item pickup if you're playing a support Lina, because generally you never have enough mana to go through your entire combo. Now he does.
Yeah, Mirana picks up a tier 1 tower. This Mirana, Phase Boots, Bottle, Bassery, and now with 1,600 gold. Be interesting to see what we get on TFG here. Maybe even just something like a Drum of Endurance would be a nice little pickup for the stats here if you want to go for that aura-based build, because you don't have to be going as hard carry as you'd normally want to, because Lifesteal is there to deal some decent damage. So something like a Drum of Endurance, maybe just straight into a Manta style would be a nice way to play this Mirana.
Yeah, Shadow Blade's definitely the most standard item of choice. It's definitely a nice attack speed, nice mobility, even in conjunction with that leap. But I like Drums here. It's going to give him the necessary HP that he might need to actually tank through that Doom, as she might be the primary target, because, you know, you want to actually bring her down as soon as possible. But seems for now they're going to group up on the mid lane. Does Mag have that blink? He's got to go for the blink in a couple of seconds. He should pick it up, deliver it, and look towards a big team fight, because right now with the blink back up, you are the strongest team fight team by far right now on the map. And looks like, TFG, there's a Doom, but Leap's already, his Purge is going to be on top as well. Haste Rune, Clockwork Hookshot's going to go in as well. TFG dies immediately. Look at the damage output. There's a buyback from the Mirana. RP's going to be expended. Look at the AoE damage. Kaboo takes a Laguna to the face. Arrow's going to get set up on Luo. Luo's going to go down. I think he's going to limp away as Doom. TFG's on the chase. Arrow with the phase boots. He's going to, well, juke him on the high ground. Juke him on the high ground. He should be fine. Open Wound's not going to find him just yet. Splurf's going to be the save. Huge play here on the Leshrac, and Doom should be fine, I think. Oh, the arrow, the leap, and Luo dodges the arrow, dodges the Starfall as well. Nicely played, and now Lamb's going to come back in, trying to go for the chase. I did not catch how to support Clock as well as Leshrac go down, so you got to give me some instant replay, gods.
Well, Clockwork that was right at the start, when he died in that cult when they went initiate in. Leshrac got picked off by the Mag with a Blink Dagger under his own tower, but end of the day, it was, I think, a decent fight for Rattlesnake, despite how, I mean, they forced out a buyback from the, they forced out a buyback from, who was it, the Mirana. They killed Mirana, and Mirana immediately buys back. And it's still with 2k gold, but I think Rattlesnake hold their own there. Most important thing that happens there is Antimates get some free farm at top lane, and finally he gets some space where he's just not being contested. But MUFC, that looked like it could have gone so well for them with that counter initiation. As soon as Mirana bought back, it looked like they were going to kill Clockwork as well as Doom. And then once those two heroes are dead, they can Shadow Demon and Leshrac. Those two heroes can't hold their own. They'll get dived under their own towers. You've got Lifestealer with Phase Boots. You've got Phase Boots on Mirana with the Leap. All these mobile heroes can just chase down and hunt these squishy supports.
Yeah, it surprised me completely how quickly the Radiant supports lost their hero. Lost their HP, excuse me. Even Magnus, ton of health, he went to red very quickly. I think it was just like Split Earth, Lightning Storm, a Poison Stagger to a Rocket. It's just like all these spells that doesn't do a ton of damage by itself, but when you add them up, you know, it hurt quite a bit. And Magnus barely survived that, was able to drop a big RP, and of course with the Blink Dagger, able to pick off another kill. Smoke and Seek being used. They think they're getting the Mirana, but the gang's coming the other way. Doom's gonna go on Wang Wang once again. Blink in, Lightning Storm. That's gonna be enough damage to get the kill on Wang Wang. Maybe not though. They're gonna focus on Winter, but the Moonlight Shadow might be enough to save him. Winter's gonna go for some big jukes. Yeah, he's gonna get a TP out alive. So the Rocket's also gonna miss. Moonlight Shadow.
The Rocket found Lina. The Clockwork Rocket found Lina and actually allowed the Lina to go. Without that Rocket, Lina would have lived from the Doom.
Oh wow, I did not catch it. I was catching on Winter, but good job on shooting her down. So.
Well, that was all the way from bottom lane as well. Kabu making some plays on Clockwork once again, but he's finding himself up against Hon Trashplayer, who now has a completed armlet. So Hon Trashplayer, he's got the farm to back up his strong early game. And looking at the overall CS, highest CS is 46 on the Doom, 45 on Anti-Mage. And the Radiant team MUFC have two heroes sitting above 70. It's a ridiculous difference in farm between the two teams.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the net worth gold, whoa, Blink RP coming in. It's going to miss, but the Purge's going to go the other way. FC is going to skewer right back out, and that should be the end of that engagement. You cannot run through a Han Trashplayer when he has an early armlet phase like this. So then back off. I mean, generally when you expect Doom, even if he's not leading in terms of CS, you expect him to lead in terms of network, because he always devour creep. That really will send him ahead, especially when you devour big jungle creeps. He's what, 4th highest on the list. This is kind of embarrassing for the Doom. Now, obviously, the game is, you know, not exactly in their favor right now. Winter warding very aggressively by himself. He's got to be careful because Winter could get easily picked off. But yeah, like you talked about, the CS definitely hugely in the favor of the Radiant team.
Yeah, Doom, I think he wasted the one failed gank at top, but even with that, he should have been farming a lot better with this max out Devour build of his. He should be getting a ton of extra gold, and his farm should be at least on par with, well, the Mag, who's leading the farm, so he should be right up there, but it's not the case. Clockwork, hook shot at mid, he's going to find one here. He's looking for Wang Wang, and once again, unfortunately for Wang Wang, he had a great time in the early game at top lane, but he's getting caught up. Mag, Blink RP, only catches Kabu. Oh no! The skewer not going to happen. Another great defensive disruption. They've got nothing to stop this TP, or do they? Blink in from Icy. Icy with a Mana Void. They bring down the Mag. Rattlesnakes are finding the openings they need. They're fighting with an item deficit, but they're coming out on top.
Yeah, and of course, when you're fighting with the item deficits, you are going to get those EXPs. You're grouping up with 3 or 4, but getting those very clutch kill on highly experienced hero from the other side. Good thing here by Icy, showing that you can jump in as the anti-mage, even if you don't have enough farm, because your spell is still very impressive at this point in the game. He's going to go back for a lot of stats. Recognize he needs the HP to tank through the RP, to tank through the big lifesteal that's going to be coming in. But Mana Void was able to help the team to get that kill. I think Battle Fury will ultimately be his item of choice, but he's going to be very far off from that just now.
Bottom lane, Kabu trying to defend this tier 1 tower. He drops a Cogs. He actually got open wounders there, but immediately Cogs go down, and MUFC are like, we're not walking into that. That stuff hurts. Only level 3 right now, but it's still a lot of mana drain, a decent amount of damage. And just with Cogs alone, this tier 1 bottom tower is being protected.
Yeah. I mean, Lifestealer is going to get quite big with that item lead, but he so far hasn't joined a single fight, and I think that's really towards the big disadvantage of the Radiant team. I feel like with the Lifestealer, one of the best early game team fight heroes, because, you know, the slow and the really consistency, the fact the damage output is high, the Infest does a ton of AoE damage. Blink Skewer here from Magnus, not going to beg him. Kabu taking a ton of AoE damage under his own cog. I feel like if Lifestealer was able to join a fight, infest it into the Magnus, they win all of those fights easily.
Yeah, he did come to the one fight at mid, but he wasn't able to actually turn his items into kills. And we are going to see a little bit of a wraparound now from TFG. Disrupt up. Is there anything to keep him in place? He's going to look for that leap out. Is there a hook? Nope. Clockwork not going for it. He decides it's too risky, but it's a tier 1 tower bottom. Goes down uncontested. Hon Trashbane on the front line sees the Shadow Blade up on Doom. He gets to Doom under the lifesteal, so even if Mag dropped an RP here, it's on cooldown. 3, 2 seconds, 1 second. He's got the RP now. Can he find him? Can they bring down Hon Trash Player? He's low. Is he low enough? The Shockwave comes out as well, and Lifestealer down, immediate buyback. Rubik low as well. Can they bring him down? That Moonlight Shadow. There's no dust, there's no sentries, there's nothing to turn around. The RP only catches 1. Shadow Demon and Leshrac both take a fall though, and MUFC, well, they've killed off the 2 supports, but it's a very expensive 2 kills.
I mean, they got the tower, but the tower was down already before that. Doom initiating with the Shadow Blade, showing the caster off. Caster Doom off. Han Trash Player buys back. They really need to get this tier 2 to really pay for that buyback. Wang Wang in front. Teleportation going out from the Mirana. We're showing the power of Moonlight Shadow, especially to Rattlesnake's lack of preparation, I want to say, what those does. And looks like even Doom is going to go for the kill. He does have level def. He sees Wang Wang. Wang Wang somehow quick enough to run away. But like you said, I feel like Rattlesnake coming ahead in those engagements, forcing out buyback and only trading for 2 for 2. The Magnus RP just haven't been on top. I think all those RPs are just one-man RP, which is just simply unimpressive, especially when you have the Blink Dagger on top. Mirana, again, Moonlight Shadow doing some work, but the hero herself is not doing too much. We saw her trialing capability is pretty impressive, but beyond that, she's not able to pick up too many kills. It's not like she's chasing down too many support heroes either. And again, the big thing for me was Rattlesnake being able to win the team fight without Anti-Mage even needing to be there. It looks like they're going to try to set up a counter kill. TFG, nice blink away, but Purge, as well as a couple of Battery Assault, going to get that kill up on top.
Mag's now top lane with a smoke, but there's not a whole lot he can do to turn this around. So far, that bottom team fight, the thing that both teams just didn't really take into account was the invisibility. Doom picked up the Shadow Blade, got the initiation on the lifesteal and killed him off, and for Rattlesnake, they didn't have any detection for the Moonlight Shadow, which cost them a kill on the Rubik, although ultimately it was still a 1 fight regardless because of that lifesteal buyback, and they did cut their losses really well. Lan M though, careful man, careful. Dead.
Yeah, Chain Sun, easy pickup here, and Lena's gonna pick up that last hit.
No big loss though.
It's a Shadow Demon, you know.
Yeah.
Some EXP going the other way, some extra go, but yeah, MUFC will take whatever freebies they could get. I mean, this game's not looking too good. I mean, they have the early game lead, which is what MUFC plays for, but I'm not sure if it's enough of a lead. The goal is 5,000, but slowly starting to dip down thanks to Doom catching up in terms of Devour. He should always use that Devour like a clock. It should never be on cooldown like it is right now.
The other big reason why Rattlesnake's won that bottom fight is because Anti-Mage was farming top lane. The entire time Anti-Mage wasn't there, he was at top, he was getting his farm up. He's almost got that Battle Fury now, just 400-500 away. So it'll be something like a 19-20 minute Battle Fury, which is obviously not good for an Anti-Mage, but with how this game has gone, it's pretty damn decent.
Mid lane here, Blink, Skewer RP being dropped right on Kabu. Courier even flying in to join the action. He's going to be flying back out. Battle Fury is almost finished, and right now the Radiant team is giving up a lot. Or the Dire, excuse me, is giving him a lot just to get that Battle Fury. But once that's done, what split push or what counter split push does the Radiant team have against Icy?
Well, I guess they can look for the solo pickoffs. If you infest the lifesteal into the mag, you can use those solo RPs to kill the Anti-Mage. That's really the one thing you can do to stop him from split pushing. Maybe you lead with the telekinesis initiation, but right now MUFC, they're looking to take down these outer towers. Lifesteal's actually gone back for the drum after the armor. This is not something you normally do as a lifesteal. I think he really realized that his mobility was a big issue. He's actually going to get caught out at mid lane. Purge is there. Are we going to see a Doom come out from Luo? He's thinking about Moonlight Shadow's there, but the Doom is off. Dead. On Trash Player is not going to survive this. The question is, maybe we see a deny. Clockwork hookshot. He's trying to go for the initiation here, and it's going to be Mag on the front lines. And once again, no sentries, no dust. Hon Trash Player, is he actually going to survive? 30 HP, 2 HP. He's dead. He gets denied by Winter.
And meanwhile, the chase is going to go for the other way. Also, like the drum build coming off the lifestealer, there's so much chasing in this particular game. Of course, Clockwork's the chase hero. Doom with the Shadow Blade as well. Skirmishes chase so well. Blink on Anti-Mage. And of course, that Purge is a big factor as well. It's going to be a late drum, but an effective drum nonetheless. But not if you get initiated by the Doom. I talked about how Doom is not really a spell that's normally being thrown on Lifestealer because it doesn't stop the feast, but they don't really care about that. They just Doom him to prevent him from actually raging. I think that's really the big reason they're picking this Doom, and so far, it's working out perfectly. He's got another 2,200 gold in the bank, and I wonder what's going to be going on next. Doom is one of the most versatile hero in terms of item choices, so you really never know what he's going to get next.
it's hardly worth speculating this, but Antimage does have his Battle Fury, and importantly, while that fight was going off there, he got the Tier 1 bottom tower. So he got the Tier 1, he forced some TPs back to defend the Tier 2, and with that Tier 1 tower gold, it really boosted up his GPM. He's now in the neutrals with a Quelling Blade and that Battle Fury. He'll just continue to farm. Probably sell out his, well, not sell out his Tranquil Boots, head them apart for some treads, and then start building towards that Manta style. But right now, he's just looking to increase his farm, catch up with, well, the lifesteal of the Mag. He's actually ahead of them as far as net worth goes, which is interesting.
I mean, last time I checked the net worth chart, it was 3 Radiant Hero ahead. Now you can see Anti-Mage as well as Doom, thanks to that Devour, catching back up. The only person that's really on top is Mirana, but Mirana doesn't use gold nearly as well as Anti-Mage as well as Doom. So, yeah, sure, she's getting some farm, and she's gonna go for a Lincoln Sphere, which... That's cool and all. It will block the Doom, but that's no damage being done. You're spending 5,000 gold on an item that necessarily gives you, what, 25 extra damage?
It's not as if this... was Doom even intending at any point in this game to use Doom on Mirana?
I mean, there was one Doom that went on her, and she was able to die and immediately buy back, but I think Lifestealer is really going to eat the Doom, maybe the Magnus. There's just simply better target. She doesn't even do...
Lena.
Yeah, even Lena. She doesn't even do enough damage right now to warrant that Doom on her.
Yeah, to me, this is an item which is going to be... I mean, at this point, TFG just has to keep farming. He can't really do much until he has his next big item. He has some regen, he has some stats, but he doesn't do much damage. He's not particularly useful in these fights with just a Lincoln Sphere, but he can be more aggressive with his positioning. But even with Lincoln Sphere, if you leap in, you're dead to a Clockwork, Hookshot, and Cogs, so it's not an item which will solve all your survivability issues.
What do you think about Doom getting the Ghost Scepter? It seems like a very, very caster-based item. I don't think he'll ever upgrade it to a Aetherial Blade, if the game goes late enough, but a very, very smart pickup here against Lifestealer, against Magnus, and definitely against a Mirana, which eventually you expect her to do some damage.
I guess he decides that they're going to be they're just going to be looking at the Antimage as far as DPS and sort of carry goes. He's not even going for a tanky, he's not going for an Assault Cuirass or anything like that, any kind of initiation. He says he just wants that support-based item to help keep him alive, which I think is a good decision. It helps against Mirana as well as Lifestealer.
Oh, looks like Doom's going to find himself TFG. Hopefully he does notice the Lincoln and will be not using one on him. I think this is a good time to actually... Oh, well, I say that and...
Should check those items.
Yeah. There's a... Is he going to get the hook shot, latching on for a little bit of assist, and they are going to get the stomp off, I do believe. It looks like TFG is dead, trying to go for the deny, not going to get off. There's the low darts to get the hell out. There is a gem on Lena, though, not going to land the LSA, and that should be enough to bring her back out. Even has a Ghost Scepter in about a couple seconds, Phase Boot on top as well. They make it out alive, getting a kill on the Lincoln Sphere, Mirana. And right now, TFG is not really looking like he's going to carry this game.
No, he's really... I mean, he's still got 1600 gold, he's level 15, he's the leading farmer on this Radiant side, but this item build is just not a real carry-based item, but which I think is fine when you've got the Lifestealer. That's where I mentioned the Drum of Endurance, which is a nice early game item. The Lincolns, though, it's a huge gold investment. Something like 5k gold gets put into this item.
Yep.
And it is a very, very expensive item for what you're getting at this point in the game. If you're a carry and you need it for the survivability as the main carry, it's one thing, but at this point, he's not the one being focused. He's not the main carry on this Radiant team. That's the Lifestealer. So the Lincoln Sphere, it's just another reason for Rattlesnake not to focus him.
Yep. And so far, Winter has not had the opportunity to get that Doom steal because Doom uses it and immediately Scourge off. He could actually do this now because of Shadow Blade. He Shadow Blades in, Doom immediately Scourge off, which has a very, very low casting animation. So nothing really good to be stolen by Winter. And to be honest, Winter's kind of dying a lot in these engagements. He's a low, squishy HP one. He's getting focused right in the early of the team fight. And it's not really looking good for MUFC. They're down by a kill. Gold chart is starting to swing down. Doom again catching up. I do want to talk about Doom is he's generally not using his Devour, and I'm not sure whether he's trying to save mana or he's trying to always be on the move. It could be one of those things that if you don't play the hero very, very constantly, you're starting to miss out on those very tiny things.
Yeah, it's definitely something worth noting here. For Rattlesnake, though, more importantly, they've got Antimage still continuing free farm. He's got a ton of items. It's Yasha, Vlads, and Treads. He's got everything on the courier coming out, so he'll disassemble his Tranquil Boots. He needs to be careful as the gank coming in. Mag Blink RP doesn't get cancelled. Oh, disaster. Disaster ensues as Clockwork, Hookshot Cogs, catches everybody inside. Is there a splitter? 3, 4 men splitters from the left track. Oh, Neo, what a fucking amazing play coming out of them. Mag gets brought down as well, and this is everything falling apart for MUFC. They're going to lose one more as well. Hon Trash Player goes down. He brings down the Clockwork with him. 4-man splitter. They go into the Roshan pit, and now Antimage says, well, Thanks for the golden items. Now, that was without his Yasha and Vlad's. Holy crap.
That was a mind-effing blowing clog, as the amazing thing was Skewer pushed Clockwork out of the cogs and put him in, and of course Neo says, alright, thanks for the free setup, and he just went mammo and basically, excuse my language, but jizz all over that cog, and well, everything followed, and of course, Icy just Mana Void to finish, and now they're gonna put an Aegis on top. Whatever gold lead they had before, it's gonna just evaporate, and this game is not looking good for MUFC, which, again, if they lose this match, they're done.
That was one of those team fights which just reminds me why I love Dota so much. It was just amazing. Mag, he had the right idea. You have to RP if you want to kill that Antimate. You had to land that as fast as possible. Antimate just reacted faster than the Mag did. And then as soon as that happens, well, without that RP, Clockwork's like, dude, I'll take this fight, no problem. 10 times out of 10, he'll go in with that. Even if he doesn't get the 3-man cogs. I think it was the 4th hero was just on the edge. He still got hit by that split earth from Neo, but even without the 3, even if it's just a 1 or 2 hero cog, it's still a 1 fight for Rattlesnake. And now, like you say, MUFC are in all sorts of trouble now. The goal graph is even, but realistically, this is a game hugely in Rattlesnake's favor.
I mean, if we want to take a little bit of time and think about the Clockwork cog, compare it to something like a Lina inverse like Strike Array. If you play Lina, if you miss a stun, you miss a stun. Here's the thing about the Clockwork cog. You could hit it and hit like a 3 or 4 man stun like that, and it's going to be insane. Or if you miss it, you still get damage, you still get mana burn. It's like a win-win situation whenever you cast a spell, and that's just simply too good.
I think the issue with Clockwork, why he's not considered something inbounds, is because he does no actual damage. Well, he's a great initiator, but his actual DPS output is very negligible. You compare that to a Lina or support
fair,
or something else. He doesn't actually do any damage. He's just the perfect setup. You can, even compared to a Mag. Mag is that similar, perfect setup with a Blink RP or a Blink Skewer, but Mag actually packs some good damage. RP does damage, Shockwave does damage, Skewer does damage. So I think that's where Clockwork, I think, is actually a really well-designed hero. He's got this great initiation. Cogs is ridiculously strong. It's your bread and butter skill, but he doesn't actually do any damage. He still has to rely on his team.
Yeah, he's definitely not one of your 1v5 hero in a sense that Mags can be. But for now, I'm not sure what MUFC's comeback mechanic is. Mirana, definitely a hero that can go very, very late. I think over the course of a couple of last G1 casts that we did, or LD and I did, I've definitely truly underestimated what Mirana can do. And I mean, this is a very late game build. When you open up with a Lincoln Sphere, you can go late. And teams like Orange have went late and eventually carried it out. Do you think this is possible, especially against a Doom, against a anti-mage who, you know, has got his Manta, Battle Fury, and Vlats already?
I just don't like this Mirana build. It's hard for me. I don't like criticizing players, but I just don't feel this Lincoln's Diffusal Blade. There's not much damage. There's not really much. The Diffusal Blade, what do you, I mean, you're not really purging a whole lot. I guess the slow can help get some kills here, but that's what you have teammates for. As a Mirana, your job is to have DPS. The Shadow Blade's a great item for that. As a, the follow, if you want the survivability, go for a BKB maybe. I guess the Lincoln's maybe, but I'm just not really seeing the synergy in the item choices coming out of MUFC's Mirana as far as how it fits into the overall team strategy.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he's respecting the Shadow Blade initiation from Doom. The Doom could always just invis in. Even when you're farming, set off the Doom and basically go for a solo kill. The Lincoln Sphere does prevent those solo kill opportunities, but you're really playing, in my opinion, too safe. It's like those times where in a late game situation, you know you're gonna lose. You sometimes have to go big and go for the Divine. Now, I'm not saying that he should go for the Divine this game, but to draw a similar analogy, sometimes you're gonna have to go for the riskier item, and you know, hopefully you're not punished for it.
Yeah, it's something which I think for Rattlesnake right now, the big thing winning that fight. The item progression is just insane right now. You get Anti-Mage, Manta Star with 2k gold on top of it. Clockwork's looking towards his next big item now, has his Ghost Scepter. Everyone on this Rattlesnake team has suddenly got a ridiculous amount of farm. Even the support Leshrac is looking at having a mech finish fairly soon.
I mean, I don't know where he found that mech, probably in that one big engagement, and suddenly got a power goal. Meanwhile, Luo, like you talked about, having the extra farm, Cypher Vice is up, and of course Anti-Mage probably got a trust fund in his bank. Yep, 2,300 gold. And I mean, at this point, he's already strong enough to start taking a fight. Here we go. Top lane. Scythe right afterwards. Oh, nice LSA, but is he going to use that Doom? No Doom necessary. No! Apparently so necessary. Double ultimate.
Well, they really wanted TFG.
They did.
At this point,
yeah.
It's obviously not a very efficient use of their spills, but why not? You still get further ahead. They probably get this tier 2 tower. Mag Lifestealer can maybe look to defend it, but it's for Rattlesnake. They're probably thinking, hey, that wasn't really the best gank of all time, but hey, we got the job done.
Yeah, and they're gonna get a tier 2 on top of that. Maybe even rotate for the tier 2 mid. They gotta start going back and work on that equilibrium, but you know they're fine. There is an item pickup here on Lina, who does have a Blink Dagger, but really, what does a Blink Dagger do? I'm not even sure. You could blink in and Shadow Demon, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what that really goes towards for the Lina. Alternatively to getting like I guess 4-star is a more versatile.
I felt like it should have been a mech, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree. Mech is definitely something the rating team don't have. It almost you could see Mag get it if they wanted a really fast mech, but yeah, Lina with a mech at this point. It's an 800 HP Lina, which is just not going to suffice up against all this anti-mage. Clockwork as well has just been punishing these heroes. And at this point, level 4 Rocket Flare, that's like almost a quarter of Lina's HP gone.
Yeah. Meanwhile here, we do see the Shadow Blade Doom playing like a Queen of Pain almost with that Scythe of Vice. Just invis in, Scythe it up, and wasn't able to get the kill on the Lifestealer because he was too tanky, but able to force him back to heal, and that's enough time here for Rattlesnake to work on the tower.
Yeah, Rattlesnake at a tier 2. The last, well, no, not the last, sorry, there's still one more tier 2 waiting at mid lane, but with this they back off. Roshan's still down for 5 more minutes here. They've actually still got the Aegis on the anti-mage, so that's actually going to be expiring in a minute, which is partly why they're being so aggressive right now. They want that last tier 2 mid. Now's their time to go, but Aegis, unfortunately, is going to be gone soon. Anti-mage with Eagle Song, he's going to be looking at a Butterfly fairly soon, and well, the item progression just keeps going on, and for MUFC, their overall plan at this point has just got to be sit back, look for those initiations, try and find maybe even a big smoke gank here, but the items just aren't there. Lifestealer, with this Reaver pickup, he's going just tanky. Where's the damage actually coming from at this point in the game? Mirana's not really doing much, and neither is Lifestealer. I
really don't know. I feel like they need a 5-man RP into Infest Bomb, into LSA perfect combo, and I don't even know if they win that team fight with everything going their way. And when you chalk it up like that, it seems like MUFC can't win, but they're going to try. Flanking from behind is TFG, looking for that arrow.
Well, Carbo's actually caught out a bit here. There's going to be a leap in, so he should know what's up. Maybe just hook the Shadow Demon. No, he's actually going to hook in. He hooks right into the Lifestealer. Cogs Ghost Scepter needs to start using something, but Ghost Scepter just sets up for a lucrative play. Mag with the BKB RP catches out 3 here. Skewer as well. Shadow Demon is down now. They're going to try fall from the left strike, but Anti-Mage, Icy's arrived. Even without an Aegis, he's still going to take it to Wang Wang. The 800 HP support here almost goes down, but not quite. And Mag, he's still fighting it. It does look like Rattlesnakes have lost, well, just their 2 supports, and they're going to look to keep on chasing now with Doom arriving to the fight finally. I
think Mirana is able to make it out there alive. Got the face, got the Lincolns back up, trying to do some physical damage, but oh no, level death into a Scythe of Vice. TFG going to get picked off. And I gotta say, if TFG made it out alive, I'm gonna count that as the MUFC win, but did not happen like that. And AM dropped in with a huge Mana Void, was not even able to kill a single support because of it. But Rattlesnake, despite having a small hiccup in that team fight, will win it on the back of just very, very powerful items.
Yeah, Clockwork was the one you got the initiate on. He didn't even die. He pops a Ghost Scepter. Lena's like, oh, sweet Ghost Scepter. I'll just Laguna Blade and chuck all my nukes at you. But they couldn't even bring him down with that said. And now tier 3 towers down. They go into the racks here. Doom on the front lines. He's just really distracting. I don't think Icy has any plans at this point to go into the fight. He hasn't got Mana Void. He's also a bit low on mana. He's going to bring down the bottom set of racks. And now MUFC, they're in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah. Rattlesnake, 1 racks up. They're 1 game up as well in this best of 3 series. Should MUFC lose this, they are completely out. And right now, the Chinese Rattlesnake looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's great to see this team. They've got a lot of these old legends here. Luo, no, he was the guy who played stand-in for EG when they were playing in China. They've got Lan M from eHome, who's sort of known for his tiny, and they've put together this Legends team. They haven't had any results so far. They've played in some tournaments like the Gosu Cup and some other small tournaments, but right now in the tournament that matters, the G1 League, the tournament with the biggest prize pool after the International, they are actually getting the results when it matters, which is the big thing here. Sure, they haven't done well in some other small tournaments, but the lineup is finally meshing together well, and they're finding themselves possibly taking out MUFC here. MUFC can't find a way back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a very, very long climb. Let's not count MUFC out just yet. Seems like gathering mid for kind of a Hail Mary push down the mid lane. I mean, again, last team fight went a lot better for them than I expected, considering the big level item disadvantage. And should they find that 3-man RP and into Invest Bomb, I, again, underestimated that damage coming out from Lifestealer. It's got a Reaver on top, so, you know, they could, with a good team fight, you know, turn things around, but it's going to be far and few in between, I think.
And I think they need to take a fight or look to do something soon. Anti-Mage is split pushing bottom, and the big issue is going to be Roshan back up in a minute or two. Rattlesnakes, if they take that with ease, and then suddenly MUFC are up against, well, another push coming their way, an Anti-Mage or possibly even Doom or someone else with an Aegis, 2 lives, and defending that gets very, very difficult.
The 2 Anti-Mage Legions beats Entourage Pro.
Oh, man.
I don't think that's a good sign.
Not at all. He's looking really poor right now. He's 1-5-3, and it's like you said, his early game involvement just wasn't there. He's picked up his heart at Rats. Okay, I didn't realize he had that item, so he has got his heart, but he had the early phase armlet, and he came to one fight, but he was 0-2-0.
Yeah,
like at 25 minutes in or something. Well, maybe not quite that late, but he was no kill or team fight involvement for the longest time.
I feel like Entourage Pros, when he plays carry hero, it's one of those low involvement hero. Like Lone Druid last game, he played it decently. And of course, he got the Radiance, but again, he just kept farming. Same thing this game. He lifestealer and farms. I remember there's a game he also played as safe lane Queen of Pain and just basically try to rise his way up to a safe advice. I feel like on certain heroes, you gotta just adjust to the hero. And, you know, for example, lifestealer, you need to take advantage of that phase drums or phase armlet drums build and walk in a fight. And you're the strongest hero on the map at that point, but you know,
yeah. Not to take anything away from him, because he actually played it. His laning was perfect. He completely dominated Clockwork. Clockwork had 9 CS when he had something like 30 CS. It was a very one-sided bottom lane, but
right, but
he didn't turn the farm into any good result.
Exactly. Instead of dominating Clockwork, he could be dominating the game, and I think that's a little bit more worthwhile his time. So, you know.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree, and we'll see now the push coming down mid lane. Tier 2 tower goes down. Shadow Demon just trying to buy time. Actually, no, Shadow Demon, sorry, making more illusions of the Anti-Mage. What am I talking about? This is a dire Shadow Demon. And they go in, they want the Tier 3 tower, and MUFC, they can really just stand and watch here. Yasha being picked up by TFG, an item that he maybe should consider getting a long, long time ago for some damage, mobility, and attack speed, but it's now up, and the Tier 3 tower already down below half HP. Defending this is just going to be an uphill battle for MUFC.
Yeah, of course, they haven't really pointed this out throughout the game, but Dooms has been really changing through his creeps. I think we saw a speed creep in the mid game. We saw a wide assortment of things like Centaur and Walkins and Dark Troll Warlord in the early game, and now in the late game situation, settling for a little bit of a damage aura for his allies. Very good selection of creeps in various different stages of the game. Look at that crit, 500 crit, yeah. Just casually critting for 500 when I have items like Cyber Vice and Gold Scepter. But this game is looking like it's out of hands for MUFC. Looks like we're gonna have a slow siege. So my question to you guys is, how do you feel the effect of how do you feel the effects of Doom had in this game?
I think he had a bit of a slow start. His farm wasn't really there at the start, but as soon as he picked up the Shadow Blade, he turned it on. The first kill at bottom lane on Lifestealer was basically the turnaround in this game. As we'll see the slow siege continuing. Clockwork actually is going to engage in. It looks like Rubik not going to be caught out. Rubik actually stolen the Anti-Mage Blink, helped him escape, but BKB Mag, he's in all sorts of trouble. Purged up, throws an RP, and does next to nothing in that fight.
Throws an RP on the 2 illusions, because the illusions were going to kill him, and, well, it looks like they're melting. They are going to blow away Anti-Mage Aegis. Not even. Looks like he got defensively disrupted. Walking around, chasing in, going for kills. Nice LSA, he's going to hit on 2. There's a Dragon Slave on top. Anti-Mage says, MP, got the shield.
Doom refresher all.
GG.
GG gets gold, and Doom playing around in the fountain, pops the Ghost Scepter, survives, and, well, Rattlesnake, they've taken out one of the Malaysian, well, the second best team in Malaysia after Orange Esports, I'd say. They've taken out MUFC, and Rattlesnake advanced to the Phase 3. They're the first team from Phase 2 who advanced. We'll see one more team advance later today, when we have Chain Stack up against Rising Stars. As right now, though, it's Rattlesnake. They look really impressive here.
They really do. Again, a team that not necessarily have the biggest name in the Chinese scene, but good to see the old elite vanguards of the Chinese Dota really showing its poise and experience, doing well, quite so well so far. But for now, this has been a best of 3 series. Rattlesnake will take it convincingly, and I think that's it for us for now. We will be coming back with the Chain Stack best of 3 in just a bit. We're gonna have a 2-hour break in between. Probably gonna be playing some epic games. But for now, thanks for tuning in. This is Luminous and Gods for the Beyond the Summit. And GG, guys.